secrets, ancient powerful knowledge. Nothing you would learn from any state college is hidden in plain sight. You're missing the truth. We're constantly spinning around on the news. Why can't you see it? Why won't you listen? Why can't you research up facts instead you're just dissing? Why are we sleeping? God is right here, trying to help, and his message is clear. Fight!
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, Kekistan, man. Did you hear about Kekistan, Shadow? Yeah. We got the cake flag here. You know, Kekistan, it's like a fiction country. It all started with 4chan. When before Trump won the election, somebody posted on 4chan with this Pepe the Frog. You know, if you've seen the symbol, here it is. And somebody posted Trump will win with this Pepe symbol, you know, and it got just 7s on the post. Like every post you do get a random digit number, and it got like 8 7s, and everybody was like, what? Dubs, you know, that's big, you know. Every time you get like 2 7s or 4 7s or something, you got it, you know. You have it's weird, but it's like meme magic. But then Trump won, you know, so I was like, what the fuck is going on, you know? It was so cool. And then people found out that they were looking at this cake, because people started saying cake instead of LOL, because cake in Korean means LOL, lol. So people started using that just for fun, you know? And using that with Pepe, like cake, hey, cake. Then somebody found out, like, cake is actually an ancient Egyptian deity that people think is awakening and helping us, you know. It could be this power, you know. And if you read the Bible, it talks about the plague of frogs, and like, if God says, let my people go, or I will plague your whole borders with frogs. And even the Jews are talking about this now when they're reading it, the Tzartzea, that it's the plague of frogs. It's Pepe the Frog, and it actually could be. You know, we could be in this epic time in the Bible right now where we have Pepe the Frog. It's the plague of frogs in the Bible that's here to help us, and it's pretty dope, man. I love the world. I love what's going on right now. I love to be awakened. I love to be able to see with my own eyes, see the truth, and what we're doing is real. And you need to do your part too. You know, you need to expose these motherfuckers. They've been lying about everything. You think you're spinning on this globe, you know, that was like with gravity, like this magic force? Well, tell me then, if you're spinning around the sun, like Earth spins first east, right? 1,000 miles per hour. But then we're spinning around the sun in a different axis. And the sun is spinning in itself in like 66,000 miles per hour. And it's spinning around the Milky Way. So with all these different axes, how can we have constellations? It just doesn't work, man. You see the same fucking stars every night. The stars should, like, you should, but they don't, man. And what burns in vacuum? I thought you need oxygen to burn something. But then you got these motherfucking NASA rockets going out to space. And like, how can the sun burn in vacuum without oxygen? It's just fucking retarded, man. Like research stuff and don't believe anything the government say. And if you don't believe the moon landing, why should you believe NASA right now? What's the difference? If they fucked you then, they'll probably fuck you over right now too. Yeah, look at that, the snake, man. I love that shit. NASA lies, man. People like watch CNN and it's like, oh, look at that. They tell me that, like, oh, ISIS gonna kill me. They're coming terrorists and stuff. But like, come on, I can't even empathize for some of these terrorists. You know, imagine if you're living in Syria or whatever. You never heard about America. Let's say that you never even heard about this country. And all of a sudden, like, just from nowhere, fucking hell arrives and bombs your whole family. Everybody dies, your cousins, and you're left with nothing. And then somebody comes and like, hey, you want to help me fight? What killed your family? I would fight, man. I would be an ISIS warrior if they killed my family. So stop blaming these terrorists for everything and shit. It's all corrupt. It's all created by United States, man. United Nations, they're all in on it, man. It's fucking set up. United Nations, who created United Nations? What did they agree on? They never agreed on anything before, but all of a sudden, all these countries come together and they create United Nations. For what? Because we can't go to Antarctica, that's why. Nobody can go to Antarctica. And they say it's this island in the South Pole. But nobody can go there. You can just go on this guided tours in a little bit, but nobody can go and cross it. No planes fly under or around Antarctica. They all fly like over the top. Doesn't make sense. Check the flight paths and you'll see everything is fucked, man. So fucked up. Yeah, and they did 9/11. Like, come on, everybody already knows about 9/11. That was a whole setup. And people say that this jet fuel supposedly melted these steel beams, you know, but it's like, come on. It's like, check a F-15 fighter, you know. It's a F-15 fighter supposedly holds 3,500 gallons of fuels. That's 13,000 liters. 13,000 liters in a F-15 jet, you know. Have you seen a F-15 yet aeroplane? Their wings are not so big. Wait, I'll show you a picture, man. This is just ridiculous. It's like, look at this shit, man. Shadow, look at this, man. You tell me that these wings hold 15,000 liters in it? They say that all the fuel is in the wings. I would be surprised if they could hold 100 liters, man. 1% of that. If they could hold 1% of what they say, maybe. But 10,000 liters, come on. Either there's no jet fuel and they're doing cold fusion, like Elon Musk we're talking about now. He's going to do with this new car. He's going to make it go on rockets that use compressed air. Yeah, it's compressed air technology. It's fucking suppressed technology. This is bullshit, man. This is so bullshit, man. I got some friends who've been talking about this shit, man. Nothing makes sense, man. Their science it's not science, man. They just want to keep you dumbed down and you just sleep, man. You don't see past your little phone, your smartphone. You don't even look up to see the sky, what's going on anymore, man. I have a friend, man. He's pretty dope. He's like he used to be a United Nations soldier. He also figured out this stuff with the flat Earth, that the Earth is flat and shit. So now he's preaching a lot about that, teaching people real science, and yeah, he figured out the system, like how we should live without the monetary system, without money and stuff. Or he figured out a system like has money in it, but it's like a system that everybody gets what they should. But I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe we should call him up and talk to him. It's a pretty cool dude. See what he has to say. See if he picks up. Let's see. Mr. Know-It-All. Tjena!
Yep.
What's up, man?
Jo, det är bra.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Jag har ju upp här, ska vi se. Sådär.
Hey, can you hear me, bro?
Men det gör ingenting kanske.
Do you hear me?
Ja, jag hör ju.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was just talking about you, man. We were talking about this, how you could live like outside the monetary system. We've been discussing some politics and stuff, and I told the viewers that you used to be a United Nations soldier, and yeah, that you figured out a way to not replace the monetary, or yeah, kind of replace it. It's not, you still have money in your system, right? Can you explain it a little bit, bro?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's a system that I built upon. It originated with a guy called Per Lundgren,
Yeah?
a Swedish writer that a couple of years ago wrote a couple of marvelous books. Unfortunately, they're only on the internet. They didn't come out in physical form. But anyway, it goes about discussing about the problems and the possible solution. And from that, I draw my conclusions, and I added a few parts. And what I came up with was something that I call Sweden 2025.
Yeah?
And basically, it's you could say it circulates around 2 points, 2 main points. One of them being that you have a monetary system where money is owned by the people.
Yeah?
And only the people.
Yeah?
Which means that there is, first of all, there's no cost for the government to distribute money, give money to the people, because it is their own, and it's nothing they can take back. And also, it gives the opportunity to give money to everybody.
Yeah?
Or share our own money. It's like we have in Sweden, they're calling saying medborgarlön, citizens' salary.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, and which means that every person, every Swedish citizen would get a certain amount of money every month.
Okay. So nobody will have to work anymore, right?
Basically,
Yeah.
yes. But the thing is, by making people financially independent, I believe it will bring out the best in most of us, because we could do the things that we really love to do and would love to do.
Yeah.
But can't to do today because of the financial restraints and also all the other restraints we have in society.
Yeah, but how will you get totally independent, though? How will the money be enough for everyone? It's like if you get a certain amount, why isn't it unlimited amount?
Well, as we can see today, money is not a problem. We keep printing money all over the world. I just read an article earlier today that in England they reached a new record salary for a what do you call him? Vice president.
Yeah.
Company called Bet365.
Yeah.
I think it's a gaming company. She made 2.5 billion Swedish crowns last year.
Oof.
That's not million.
Well,
Billion.
yeah.
So money is not an issue. The problem is how it's distributed and divided and who owns it.
Yeah.
So we need to get the money back in the hands of the people.
So then it sounds like we have to ban gambling, because if we allow gambling, then somebody will get these 2.5 billion, like he did, right?
Yeah, but actually nobody would want to gamble. You gamble because you don't have it's a sickness.
Yeah.
But mainly it's because you're hoping for a better life, for a better economic
True.
situation.
It's true. But it's also like if you play poker amongst your friends, it's also like you want to beat them, you know? It's like
Yeah, and you can still play poker, but you won't have to play for money.
yeah. You can play for favors instead. It's like
For instance,
if I lose, I'll clean your garden. It's like
just for fun.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But you don't have to. You're not in a predicament
No.
where you can't solve your life's needs.
Yeah.
So, and the money would be in my model an electronic currency.
Yeah.
And some object to that, but the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's electronic or physical or whatever. As long as the people own the money, it doesn't matter. So the economic I forgot the electronic currency is easily distributed, and then every citizen could have their own credit card, basically, where the government, which is basically ourselves, put that money automatically every month into this account, which you can use, and you can only spend it. You can't hoard it. You can't put it aside, so you can't basically collect.
You have to use it every month, like.
You have to use it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get new money, and then you use it, and then you
But-
spend it into the economy. So it's a circulating economy.
But can't you spend all your money in 2 days?
Sure you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like a communism thing too, that everybody gets the same thing, and
Everybody gets the same opportunity.
yeah, exactly. But
You put a spend and you do that. Some people won't spend much at all, I guess. Other people will spend more. But the thing is, we spend money depending on how we see our future.
but why can't just everything in the store instead be free then? It's like can't just everything, can't you just be able to take what you want, or
What is money? The thing is, I know a lot of people would like to have a financial system without money, an economy without money.
yeah.
The thing is, if we go from what we have today to a system without money, it's all going to break down, I'm pretty sure, because people are not ready for that.
Yeah, it's a process. It's gonna take a while, but
Exactly.
it's still gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen for sure.
I think it's going to
Yeah.
happen, but first you have to make people responsible, and you have to make them hopeful, and you have to give them a real shot at becoming, what they want to be. I think if you loosen up certain parts and you create a future that's reliable, where you don't have to worry, you don't have to think about pension, you don't have to think about what happens if you get sick. You can do whatever you love and want, and of course, a lot of people say, well, not a lot, but some people say, well, people won't work. But I would say to contradict that if you can do anything you want and you have the money to do it, I do not think you wouldn't do anything. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but yeah, I met my bro here. We had this flat Earth meeting a while ago, and just wanted to ask you because it's curious, because we also talked a little bit about the flat Earth here. I mentioned the constellation, that there's vacuum in space, there's no oxygen. So it's like those two things are my main things that made me realize like the Earth is not, it's not a ball. It can't be a ball, or at least it's not spinning. And I could see for myself. I went out to do measurements and stuff over the sea. But what was your thing that made you realize that?
It goes actually along the lines with what we're talking about with the financial system. Once I had that epiphany and created that system, my kind of whole take on the world changed, and I looked on the world through different eyes. And one of the things I discovered is when I used my senses, it didn't really go hand in hand with what I've been told.
Yep.
Like you said, you felt fucked almost.
Yeah. I was like pissed. Like first I was confused, man. Then it was a little bit like I was angry. I had this anger. And then it was like love, man. It's like, oh shit. Yeah. It was like this. It was like we still have to convert the world with love. We can't just go out and like, oh, kill all these people that been lying or whatever. But what can we do, man? What can we do?
I don't think it's a coincidence that this movement has arisen at these times.
No, it's not. I agree. I totally agree. What do you think about Trump, though, man? Like, what's his deal? I can't tell if he's playing a game towards us or towards them.
Did you say Trump?
Trump, yeah, Donald Trump. Because you got this movement now, QAnon movement. You heard about QAnon?
A little.
Yeah. It's this guy inside the American government that drops all these bombs, these truth bombs. Like, look at this, Pizzagate is real. Like Hillary Clinton is fucking evil, lock her up. And it's like, he actually have facts too, about this shit. And all this movement with people looking in more to the conspiracy that's going on. I've seen that growing because of the QAnon, the whole movement. And I think I just don't get Trump, because it looks like he's waking people up, but he's super pro Israel, and he's super, like that's his main issue, I think. And he doesn't tell the truth to everybody about what's going on behind the scenes, but maybe he can't tell everybody immediately either. Because if you look at USA, like it's probably just half of the Americans that's pro-Trump, maybe more now. But like if you look how it was before, but people are like gradually starting to like see the good that he's doing. So it's like, but I can't. Like, how good is he? Is he the Messiah? You know, like a lot of people say that because he got the when he won, he got this sevens from 4chan that somebody posted Trump will win. And he got his 8 sevens in a string, and then he was when he became president the same day he was 70 years old and 7 months and 7 days, and he had this like maybe it was something prophetic about that, you know.
Perhaps. The whole idea is interesting. I lean more towards it being a coincidence that he got the position he has. He was probably underestimated. He probably still is. And I think actually he got the ball and he's running with it. And it, like you said before, how much does he know and who he really is? Nobody sits on the entire truth except for God. And no man is perfect, and no man tells all the truth. We do what we can, considering the circumstances we're in. I say things that are not true sometimes, even though I think they are, and I sometimes probably say the truth, even though I don't know that it is the truth. We all do. And also you have to consider. When a lot of these prophecies were made, we lived in a world that was pretty not simple, but a lot simpler than it is today. I mean, where not only are we a hell of a lot more people on the planet, but also the system is so complicated today, almost complex, and there are so many things going on at the same time that both intersect and that they play upon each other, and it's like a huge sea, and you have waves going all over the place and in different directions, and sometimes they meet and sometimes they just pass each other and don't affect each other. So, I mean, depending on which way you look at it, you can see a lot of things and you can come to a lot of conclusions. What will be, we'll know afterwards, as always, but I don't think we should jump at every one of them. And every one of them can, of course, not be true. But the thing is to figure out which ones are.
What can we do then to end this like misery we're all living in? Like this is not the truth, people don't have God in their lives, and it's like it seems like people are becoming zombies, It's like people don't see that like this is poison, and this is what you're supposed to eat. Like this is not how you live. Like this is like what can we do? Like when will all this happen that we get back what we should have, like actually, that we don't have to be slaves anymore?
Yeah, good question. I think first of all we have to be proactive. We can't wait for the things to happen. We have to move ahead. We have to find God again. I mean, that's our true purpose. And
did you believe in God before you found out the Earth was flat? Were you a Christian then, or?
I believe when I was very small, but then I was baptized at a pretty, well, not old age, but I think I was 11, and but it's not that I didn't go to church and things like that, but we had like the Christian values at home.
When you were a kid, or?
It happened, not much, and then I basically became an atheist after I guess after my teens, and especially after I went 2 tours as a UN soldier, and what I saw made me reconsider the whole thing. And basically from that point on, until I came across Flat Earth, I didn't believe in God.
You were a United Nations soldier. Like, what do you think about the United Nations? Like,
You mean the organization or what they do, or?
yeah, just tell me what you experienced and how you look at it today. Well, how did you look at it when you started? How was it then? Like, did you change your mind after you did it, or how you look at it? Do you think you did a good thing when you did what you did? Of course, they not all the shit they do is bad. They wouldn't get any funding, or people wouldn't support them at all. So, but
Of course, and it's like, it's like the human body. I mean, you have all these parts working together perfectly, united for a common purpose, but still, that human that these parts are part of can go out and murder people. Does that make the parts bad in themselves? Of course not. And it's the same with organizations. I mean, you can have a lot of good people in them doing great things. Like I believe we helped people. We shouldn't have been there, but while being there, we did good stuff, good things. But what it made me realize that the truth wasn't exactly what I'd been told before I came there. Looking at what media wrote about it, the situations, looking at how the common perspective on what was going on was all wrong. When I came there, I discovered that nobody's good, nobody's bad. People just do what they have to do to survive.
Exactly.
And you can have the people with biggest hearts, but they will still do horrendous things if they have to. And you have bad people who can make wonderful things if that was needed. So it's what I'm saying. It's a very complex world we live in, and it's very difficult to judge everything from people in themselves to whole organization. But I do not think we need an organization like the UN. We have a lot of these organizations that we could do without. But they're all it's like symptoms, on a sick body. A lot of things we have to have in this world, so to speak, in this under these situations to keep it somewhat working, even if it's not good. But I think it was I wouldn't want to take away that experience, but I'm not sure if I would do it again. I don't think I would do it again. But I believe we have to get involved in these things to figure out how it really works out there, because it's quite easy just sit around and have opinions and make up your mind, but not having the real experience. So I think it's important to get that, to listen to those people who have that, and still you'll get different. I mean, get me 10 UN soldiers, and I can promise you 10 different stories.
Yeah, of course.
yeah, I agree with the United Nations. I think it's all corrupt. It's just for money and power. Like, and how they created United Nations, I think it's very weird. Like, how did they all come together for this one thing? Like before there was war and destruction, and then just let's get together and let's not make anybody go to Antarctica. It's like, because they found something there, right? It must be. And if you look at these ancient Buddhist maps and stuff, you got all these continents outside Earth. And they want us to look up there, But that's not where it's going on, man. This shit is over here, man. It's over there.
Yeah, right. I think it's so funny that we're even considering other planets and space travel when
Yeah, but then you got all these...
everything we need to fix is right here.
But you got these round earthers then, and they're like, but you can see the planets are round, and look at Mars. But I looked through Mars to a telescope, and trust me, it's a blob, It's not a planet, but it's something there. But what is it? They call them the moving stars, like previously. But then...
We don't know what it is, and it's perhaps, I think, some things we're not meant to know. It's not for us.
Theory. This could be like let's say like this could make, in theory it could work. Like, let's say you have the moon and the sun inside this dome, then you have this dome outside this dome, and there maybe you have Venus and Mars, like the sun and moon. And then you have next dome, and there you got Neptune and yeah, whatever, Saturn or something like that. That could be. I'm not saying it is like that, and probably not, but it's a theory.
Yeah, well, it's not a stupid theory. I mean, you have different layers, and that would explain also the distortions.
Yeah.
So no, it's not a stupid idea at all.
No, it's basically you could basically track the movements of those moving stars, or what do you want to call them, planets, and see if it would fit together. Like, somebody should do that that's watching this, and see if it would work. I haven't done it myself yet, so.
Yeah, I believe I mean, we can study those. I mean, the movements of the heavenly bodies all we want, but it's, I mean, as long as we can't go there, I mean, we'll never really know. We'll have to take that on faith, of course, but I'm okay with that. I don't have. I mean, our problems are down here. This is what we should. I mean, this right here is what we should focus on.
Yeah.
That's like living up in the sky. I mean, we don't belong there. I mean, there are physical barriers all around us. They're there for a reason. It says, it's like a big sign. Stay the hell out of here. You know, mind your own business.
I told everyone there did that before too. Like, if you know they fucked us up with the moon landing, because a lot of people know that. Like, I guess more than half of people in my age, more than that, knows that the moon landing was a hoax. Like, if they fucked you over then, why wouldn't they fuck you over today? It's like, that's how I see it too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And of course, research and do your own research and check the facts. You know, if they don't add up, and if you can see it's flat and nothing else adds up, then it doesn't work. You know, and then do something. Tell other people. Discuss it.
Yeah, and what's important with the flat Earth movement, I think, is a lot of people, you know, they want to have answers right now. And I always tell people, you know, this is a process. I mean, we just started it. We're like babies. We don't have the funding. We hardly have had time. The knowledge is being built from down up. If we bring out a theory and it's not correct, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that we've gone about it in the wrong way. And it's like, you know, we're starting from scratch. And people can say, you know, well, flat Earth has been studied for a lot of years, and no, it hasn't really. I mean, there's come out a few things. I mean, people thought it, but they could never check it. They could never. I mean, like the heavenly bodies, they will move across the sky the same way, no matter what shape of the Earth, basically. So that doesn't tell us much. I mean, you can mathematically you can prove basically anything at all. Just look at Zenon's paradoxes, which I think are a good way to go. But so you know, we should have patience, but people usually don't have that today. We're in a quick fix society. We're living in times where, you know, you Google it and you get the answer, and then you go on.
Yeah.
But this is something different, and yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, man. You continue. I got to tell you later.
No, it's like you know, we in Sweden we've come a far way from God. I mean, I think we're one of the most secular countries, if not the most secular countries in the world.
Yep. It's like people think you're stupid when you say that you believe in God. It's like, oh shit, there's no God. Like, come on. It's like,
Yeah, it's like
that's what they used to believe.
Yeah. Oh, we believe in the Easter Bunny as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Santa Claus and dinosaurs, by the way. It was two guys that found all the first 70 dinosaurs, and 30% of them were classified as fake. How about that? Like, and they just found like one bone, and then they put clay and shit together, and they made this dinosaur. And there are no real bones in the museums. Nobody can touch the real bones. It's like a few panthologists in the world, you know. It's not, doesn't make sense, man. nothing makes sense anymore in this crazy world. What?
When we take a step back and you add God into the equation, a lot of things make sense.
Yeah, of course, but like if you really think about it, if you're not like us already, think about shit. Does it make sense? Okay, research it. Does it still doesn't make sense? Then it probably doesn't make sense. So the other side makes sense, or check it out. And one thing before, when you talked about people can ask Google about anything, I did this test, and asked Google like who's Muhammad. According to Wikipedia, Muhammad, and then you ask who's Buddha, and according to Wikipedia, but if you ask who's Jesus, it doesn't want to answer that.
Really?
Yep, it can answer who's Jesus. It's at least in many countries it's blocked. You try it out for yourself, but they don't want you to know about Jesus. So.
Yeah, there is a definite persecution of Christians around the world, not only physical but also mental, and that's what's been foretold as well. So it shouldn't come as a surprise. And I also believe I've always liked being on the, I shouldn't say losing side because it's not, but on the side with the greatest odds against it. Because, that's what brings out the best in people, and that what, creates your character and gives you strength. If you have it easy, you'll become a bastard, basically.
I'm a total dick. I have one of my friends. I tell him all the time. He's like, why am I so sad? I'm like, because you don't have any hardship, man. Your life is too easy. You get food every day served by your parents, everything. And it's like, me, man, I'm struggling, man. I don't have any money. I barely have any home, and I just go around. And I'm so thankful. When I get food in my belly, I'm happy, man. I thank God, It's like, don't get too convenient, but like, it's nice to struggle sometimes too. You appreciate life,
You do, and of course
It's no fun having to struggle all the time, but there's a reason. And when we lost our faith, I mean, it's so harder to determine why you're struggling. You start talking about, justice and equality, and that's why we have today in the society all this, everybody's equal, everybody's worth the same, and so on and so forth. But it doesn't really work that way. And people have difficulty finding purpose. And they try to hide, and through behind consummation, addictions, hate, fear, instead of, letting God into your heart and knowing that you're special, you have a purpose, you don't have to worry, you just follow your heart. And it's what I learned late in life. It's that God doesn't judge you here on earth. As long as you believe in Him, you have a place at His house. What we do here on earth, we pay for here on earth.
Karma.
Yeah. And I never could hold those two apart. I thought it was all about my deeds on earth that would decide if I went to heaven or not. But it's not. It's the belief. It's a gift that keeps giving, so to speak. And as long as you believe, you'll get there. But what you do here on earth, that's your choice. Yeah. You got a free will. You do what you want. But
exactly,
if you do good things will come out of it. And this place will be, again, a place worth living in.
I actually feel, I agree, and I feel sorry for all these Freemasons in the lower ranks, that they have no idea what they're getting into, man. They don't know that they're gonna sell their soul. Some of them are Christian, until they go to the maybe 10th or 20th degree. Then it's just darkness, man, and all these degrees, when you climb, they make you do more, like, just insane shit, and eventually your soul is so corrupt that it's just darkness, man. Then eventually you also go and drink these blood from children and do these sacrifices and go ahead with and do pedophilia or whatever they do, man. It's just sick, man.
It is, some of them are beyond redemption. Even though and you probably won't agree with me on this point, but one of the things I talk about in this model that we spoke about initially, with a different financial system, different political system, a different society, I speak about that we should let we shouldn't start the new ways by hating.
I agree. I before I was like, fuck these motherfuckers, man. I'm gonna go out and kill these motherfuckers. Look at what they've been doing. And it's like it's not gonna help the world, man. If I do that. What I'm thinking about now is I gotta enlighten these people that haven't got to that level yet, man. That can still be saved, man. Come back to the light. Illuminati, that's not the light, man. It's no light. It's just darkness, man. Don't believe their shit, man. You're not gonna live forever, bro. It's just fucking corruption. Even though they teach you some stuff, oh, look at the earth is flat, like, and you get some more knowledge, you can watch this podcast and we'll teach you some stuff too, man. And get back to Jesus, man. That's the love, man.
Yeah, amen to that.
Amen.
No, but I mean, we're.
What is it? My cat is doing something over here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, but I think we need to join forces, and I think if we can show amnesty to most of these people, because most of them are very talented. We should not forget that. It's like, sometimes you say you meet somebody and you say, oh, I wish I had that guy or that girl on my side. And I think if we start a new system and we put down, we put down the law, so to speak, and then people can adapt to that. But I believe in giving people second chances, even though some of them are like you're talking about. I mean, they're beyond redemption. There's nothing more left for them. I don't think we got to get rid of this hate. We got to get rid of this.
Yeah, of course. But it's also that they're into this. They control the Swedish politics a lot, and the police. There's a lot of policemen that's Illuminati, and especially some police corps in Sweden. Like take Uppsala in Sweden. It's totally all the chiefs there are Freemasons and stuff. Like there's tons of policemen that quit working there in Uppsala when this chief started working, because they know it was going to be shit. Even the policeman knows about what's going on inside the police corps, that this shit is going on, but even they can't do shit. And then go out and smoking these people that smoke a joint instead, but then you have these fucking baby killers and stuff. It's like look at what you're doing. It's like, what law are you obeying? Is that Illuminati law or is it God's law? It's like,
yeah, a lot of crazy people out there. Possessed, insane, and it's like, it's like killing somebody, I guess. You've done it once, it's no problem to do it twice.
No, but that's true. Yeah, it's exactly. And when it's how they started too, and like this, when they climb up in the degrees, they trigger them. Like, now you have to do this stuff. It's like, and there's no women allowed. That's because women wouldn't tolerate this shit, man. No women would allow a baby to get off. Some women, but most women would fucking stop there. It's like, this is not okay. It's not okay to rape a child. Okay, this is not okay. But men in groups can become very, very evil, and especially if you trigger it like that, I think.
Yeah, if it's been going on for a long time, I mean, it's like with the glow birth indoctrination.
Yeah, many people have it in their family when they grow up. That becomes Illuminati, so for them it's natural. But yeah.
And those are the ties we have to cut.
Yeah, exactly. Illuminati.
Yeah, I think what we need basically it's like, I think it was Buckminster Fuller who said that don't keep bashing your head against the existing system, you know, create a new one and let people make the choice for themselves. What I lack today in society, basically, and many times in our movement, is like the positivism. You know, we need to show that there are ways to go forward, and we need to get people's hopes up again. And that's, you know, I think, you know, hope can bring this whole shit house down. It's been shown before, and it can be, you know, done again. And like I said, it's we have the power. I mean, we have where there are a lot more of us. First of all,
No, I have an idea how a good start. I think what would be a good start for you people who view it. If you live in a country that has a space program, you should go to the police and report your government of all the money that they're sending out to space. And you can prove this shit in a court. And especially if you unite, they don't have a chance. So I think you should. And Sweden spends like $1 billion a year on space research. And I'm really gonna go and report the Swedish government for stealing money from the people.
well, I think it's what we're witnessing is a big, very, very well thought Ponzi scheme. It's one of the better ones to come along. And the thing with it, it's not only that there's money in it, but it's also about, you know, since the year 40s, 50s, you have people, I mean, fantasizing about space, about aliens, about you know, all these things, and then you have all this sci-fi going on, and you had, I was one of them as well. I love, you know, sci-fi movies and all that, and it, you know, it's easy to get people into that Ponzi scheme without even knowing that. It's like, I don't know if you've heard about Trump's Space Force.
Yeah, I did. But it was the same thing when he acknowledged that. He was standing with Buzz Aldrin and stuff. And if you look at Buzz Aldrin's face when he's like talking about he's gonna send us further into space and stuff, like they're
At some
so
point in the
worried
future,
that
we'll
he's
look
gonna
back and say,
slip.
how did we do it
They-
without
they
space?
Trump, I think Trump is on our side, but they have hostages, you know. They always have somebody, and like if you fuck up now, if you tell the people what you can't tell them, you know what's gonna happen. It's like, we'll kill her, him, them, and they got that power. I was looking at Alex Jones too, and Alex Jones always says, oh, I don't have a teleprompter or a earpiece, but then you can see in a lot of video he has an earpiece. And you can see he's been socially engineered. Sometimes he really want to talk about something and he raises his hands up, but then he's like, oh shit, oh no, space. And it's like, you can see in his eyes, you know, that they're doing something to somebody. I'm totally sure it's the deep state government. They have them as hostages, man. It must be, you know, because else he would have too much power.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, you have another good explanation actually for the Space Force program. First of all, I can tell you it's not going to happen. But what it'll do, it'll bring more people into the military because they have a problem getting people into the military, into the army, Air Force, and so on.
Why do you need more people into the military then?
Because a lot of people are leaving. I mean, the Americans are pretty they're tired of that, so they need to get people into the military, and you know, they don't get a very good deal. But if you can get them to, I mean, who doesn't want to be in Space Force? But I can tell you, they're not going to go to space. They're going to be just right here on Earth, doing the same shit that they've been doing, you know, all this time. So they need to, you know, up the deals for them. It's more and more difficult to trick people. So I think this is the Space Force thing is just a charade. It's just for, you know, for show. They're not going anywhere. They can't go anywhere.
No, no, of course not. Of course not. They haven't so far. So
No.
yeah, it's
A lot of things happen and they happen fast, and I think you can in just 20, 30 years. I mean, there's things going on that you could hardly believe your eyes and your ears, and they're happening all over. One thing I find interesting is that if you look at a lot of the events around the world the last couple of 5 or 10 years that would once upon a time have sparked a new war, for instance, it doesn't happen anymore. And these people, I mean, like we're talking about the secret leaderships and within the Freemasonry or whatever organization you want to choose, they're like rats. I mean, they'll cooperate when it suits them, but they'll stab each other in the back as fast, if that's the best solution. That's to our advantage, knowing them. And I think they're getting more and more desperate, and we're gonna see more and more. It's like 9/11 when that happened. I looked at it one way at the time. I look at it entirely different today, and I believe it's actually a sign. If you compare that to Sweden, for instance, I mean, they had 9/11. In Sweden, we had the bomber who blew himself up. You remember him? Yeah. Because the Americans are not as easily fooled as we think. I mean, they would never go along just from an accident, from that, terrorist blowing himself up. They needed a something that's so shocking to make them turn around, to make them, go to war again, or accept certain changes in society. I didn't think of it that way when it first happened and the first couple of years after that. But look at Sweden. We needed one terrorist to blow himself up. And then we're shitting our pants, and we're asking our government for help.
Yeah, exactly. People, I know friends who was like, they wouldn't want to travel on an airplane anymore. I'm so scared of dying of a terrorist attack. And it's like, then you can see like their plan worked, for an extent.
Yeah, I mean, look, like now, you have the migrants, and I mean, people are again shitting their pants and drawing conclusions. I've heard all the stories about this being a new planned invasion. That's back from the 80s and 90s, planned a long time. And they need this kind of things to make us, give up our rights and give up our freedoms. And we're so easily fooled here in Sweden. It's almost...
Yeah, but because Sweden, like, for everybody who doesn't know, Sweden brought in shitloads of migrants, more than any other country in Europe, comparing to its size, I guess. And it's like, and violence, like, it became more violent, like, especially in the cities, especially in Malmö, in Gothenburg, in Stockholm. And I'm not saying it like the immigrants are bad, they're violent, but it's in the system. When they come here, they're poor, they don't get work, they have nothing to do, and it's like, it becomes conflicts. Like, you have all these, maybe they're enemies too, the countries they come from. And then all of a sudden, it's like they put them together and it becomes these groups, And I told people before too, like, I don't think ISIS, the ISIS soldier, I don't think he's a bad person. He's not a terrorist. They killed his whole family. And now he just seeks revenge on getting payback to whoever did it. He doesn't have a life anymore, maybe. I know a lot of people who has it like that, and people, I know most Swedish people really see people like nowadays, like, look at this Muslim, look at this terrorist, And it's really fucked up how they made it work like that, and they probably want a civil war or something, or create like this madness in our country, because it will. If you mix groups together like that, it also does, especially if you don't communicate. And Swedish people are really bad at communicating, most Swedish people.
Indeed they are. Indeed they are. That's one of our biggest problems.
Yeah, so start talking to this immigrant, like this Arab shop, and start buying their food. They're really nice, you know. They're not terrorists, all of them. It's just bullshit, man.
Actually, I mean, we have more problems in Sweden, and we got people, we got young people who don't want to work. They want to get their hands dirty. They want to, sit around on the internet, make, apps, make YouTube movies, blog, and so they're going to be begging these people for doing their shit jobs for them, because you don't get Swedish kids to clean up the lavatories, to take care of the old, to hardly, work as teachers in schools. Everybody wants to have these nice, well-paid jobs where you don't have to think, you don't have to have any responsibility. So, we're going to need these people,
whether we like it or not.
Yeah, but what do you think? Should we bring in more migrants then, or should we stop it?
No, we have to take care of the ones we have already.
Exactly, I agree. We're fucking flooded. We can't handle anymore. So stop it. And it's also telling the United Nations that we don't want any more wars, because they created, they know it's coming. It's all planned, before. It's not like, oh shit, look at this country now, they have the nukes. Look at Iran, they're so dangerous for the world. Iran is not dangerous, man. America is dangerous. That's the most dangerous country in the world.
Yeah, and if you look at every country as a gun, America is the biggest gun. And I mean, who wouldn't want to like to, wield the biggest gun? So you're going to get the craziest people going to America to try, take control of this gun. And these are one of the things we have to do, we have to take the real power from the hands of these people.
Yeah, man, I think you got some good points, and it's nice if you could come to the studio next time too, or something. We can talk some more about this. So,
well, thank you for letting me be a part of this, and of course, if like I told you earlier, if it can help anybody out a little bit, it's well worth it, and I'd love to come to the studio sometime. Yeah, whatever we do, we gotta, start doing it, and we gotta be proactive, and we gotta get, the info out there. And at the same time, we shouldn't spread everything that's, being said and told. One part of being proactive is, you have to sit on it for a while, think about it, get into perspective. It's just making everybody stir crazy and everybody, excited, it's not a good thing as well. We have to, use common sense also. But this is, what comes, it's easy for me to say. I'm a little older, so I used to run head first as well before, but nowadays,
you're too old now, man. Gotta let us young kids take over.
Yeah, well, they're our future, so, no doubt about it, but and I think they're waking up to the fact that, this is not right.
Of course, it's only light that can overcome darkness. Only light can only love that can win over hate. Never hate. That's what we're fighting for, never fall to the dark side. Well said. Amen. Namaste. So this show, this is our first show, Anonymous Podcast number 1. We're doing this for God, we're doing this for you, the people, and it's time to wake up, look around you, see what's going on, try to understand things, and maybe we'll save the world one day. Peace out, take care, see you next time.
Buried in secrets, ancient powerful knowledge. Nothing you would learn from any state college is hidden in plain sight. You're missing the truth. We're constantly spinning around on the news. Why can't you see it? Why won't you listen? Why can't you research up facts instead you just listen? Why are we sleeping? God is right here, trying to help, and his message is clear. Fight! Fight!